This is the second demonstration on how to build the design brief in InDesign. We've already looked at master pages and how they can help us to standardize the look of things, and now we want to also look at how we can use paragraph styles. For example, when we first built the master page number, and we put in there a page marker with the type tool, and then this would be something we would normally format the old-fashioned way we always have. But I'm building a document that I'd like to reuse for the future over and over again, and I don't want to keep changing what I do. So I go to Paragraph Styles, which is of course available under the Window menu, and these are things that can be variable as far as exactly where they are, but everything's always under the menu here. But this would be Styles, Paragraph Styles, and do not be confused by the type menus that are similarly named. So now the basic paragraph, whenever you open an InDesign document, here's just a regular straight up one. And if you put your text cursor in there and start putting text in, it's going to be the standard typeface that they have decided on for you under basic paragraph, and whatever size it is, and all the other things about it are predetermined. And so in my design brief file, that is my branded file, I go to the paragraph styles and I double click basic paragraph, and I use the left-hand side of the menu to change it to what I would like my base font to be, and then my base size. All my other paragraph styles will be based on this. And so there's going to be all kinds of different things that you can deal with. For example, the alignments. This would be for the majority, this would be every time you put your text cursor in, what's it going to do? And so the most likely things. And then hyphenation. I don't like to hyphenate in documents like this, and so I take it off. Things like the color. I have saved some custom colors in my document, and so I could make the type a custom color. And if I do this right now, I'll choose this. I think it's pretty dark. It's dark enough. And that's going to be the character color now. So I say OK to that. And now throughout my document, everywhere that I have already put type, it's going to change to that color. Now this looks like it's type, but it isn't. I cheated there. So this is actual type right here. And we put it in there with the usual methods. And so because of that, and I changed the paragraph style, it's going to reflect. This is a really great feature in InDesign. It's also true in other programs, actually. But it's really good here because, for example, I'm going to show this to my boss, to my clients and things, and if they say, I don't feel that this is readable, I don't feel that I like this, I can go to the basic paragraph in the paragraph styles, and again, I can go and I can change something. I can return that to black. And so now as I do that, throughout the document, everything that used to have basic, I just typed it in, has turned to this color. All right, so now when you want to do things that are unique, it starts out as the basic paragraph. You see the tiny plus sign here because when I put my text cursor in there, I changed it to another, in this case, size. I may decide to choose another entire font. We notice that here I have a list of the widely supported cross-platform fonts. If you work in both Macintosh and Windows, you need to know this. And so the things that you can choose, and this is why I chose Verdana as my base font, because it is cross-platform. So now I need to think of something that might be a complement or a way to have a secondary font in there. And again, I really should be thinking about this here. So I can go and I can look for another font, for example, Palatino, and I can see, I just pushed the P on the keyboard and it popped it up for me. And so if I pop that to Palatino Bold, for example. And now what I did was I highlighted one of my headlines and I changed something about it. It's Palatino Bold 36, okay? And so now what I can do is I can turn that into a style that I can apply to my other headlines. So here's how you would do that. You can go ahead and experiment until you find one you kind of like or think you like. Then while it's highlighted, you go to the Paragraph Styles box, and on the top right menu, you can choose to create a new paragraph style. Here I'm going to call this heading 1, and that's my highest number of heading. There's no heading that's going to be larger in my world. And if I were to look at basic character formats, you see that it's taking on the characteristics of what I put on there when I formatted it by hand. And so it does that, but it also remembers my previous decisions. So that's a way to do that. And then again, I'll just change this color for you. And these colors were picked up from the image of the logo, actually. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I've made this name heading 1. I have this highlighted. I click on heading 1 in Paragraph Styles box, and it has been applied to this style, to this page. Now I put my cursor in another headline that I typed myself, and I click on heading 1 in the Paragraph Styles box, and you can see that it changes to that. And so if I take it and I put it on this smaller heading and I say heading 1, it may get too large. I can just go ahead and make a variation on that if I like. So I can keep changing my mind. And again, additionally, if I say to myself, I don't think I like this font or color or anything about it, I can go and double click it in the Paragraph Styles box. And when I change that definition of how that type looks, it's now going to change throughout everywhere that I tagged it with that heading 1 paragraph style. But I did not do this one, so you see it remains a variation on basic paragraph. And so I tell it, I click inside there and click on heading 1 in paragraph styles, and it goes to those characteristics that I wanted. So this is how we can control our type in InDesign. And what you want to do is you want to build a lot of these. So maybe the date is always going to be something else in my document. And again, this would be you building your roughs the way you wanted to. So I changed it, bold, italic, 18 point. You know, I can change the color up here at the top if you're looking for how to do that. I could put that back to black, for example. And then again, I've changed it, but I want to change it for the future, for a style I might reuse. I'm going to go up to the Paragraph Styles box, say New Paragraph Style, and name it something else. I'm going to call this Heading Italic 18, because that reminds me of what is different about it. So I say that that's its name, I say OK, and I still have to go here and click on it to make that actually happen. Then if I were to click somewhere else, I'm going to change this to a new paragraph here, and then heading, I just changed only that one paragraph. You see, it's controlled by the hidden characters, so we'll put that back to the normal view, and you can see how paragraph styles are done per paragraph. When we put on the show or hide hidden characters, we can tell where paragraphs start and end, and that is the feature that is working here. So if I click on this and say heading 1, it becomes heading 1. Heading italic 18, it becomes that one. So you're basically making definitions and then applying them to your document so that as you go forward and you continue to build documents, you will have that standardized look, and you will also be able to make variations on your type.